The fourth plane, the one that you may have seen pass overhead here, failed to reach its intended mark. What made the difference? United Airlines Flight 93 was 41 minutes late getting out of Newark, New Jersey. The traffic was backed up at the airport, and for just normal reasons, they didn't get in the air until 40 minutes later than they were supposed to. This began the unraveling of the plans of the hijackers. Their intent was for all those planes to hit their target within about 10 minutes of each other. That way nobody would have had the information necessary to arm themselves against the hijackers. But on this flight, the passengers and crew, after the hijackers had slashed to death the pilot and badly maimed and left to die the co-pilot, and took over the plane, they announced that they had a bomb on board, and that if everybody kept their mouths shut, stayed in their seats, and went along, they would negotiate some terms on the ground. When they were met, they'd turn the plane around and go back to Newark where it had come from. The passengers and crew, however, were armed with information. They had completed calls to the ground, 13 passengers in all. Some of them repeated calls and were feeding information to those now forced to the rear of the plane back in coach. This gave them also time to unite together and begin to formulate a plan, a counterattack against these terrorists. It also gave them time to pray. Todd Beamer, knowing what he was facing, tried to place a call to his young wife. She didn't answer the call. She probably had a rough night with 2 young children, expecting another, and he didn't get through, so he made a call to the ground control operator just up the road here. And after explaining the situation to her and what they planned to do, she tried to talk him out of it, but he instead repeated the 23rd Psalm, which in part says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me." And then he repeated the Lord's Prayer with her. The phone was left open on the seat, and the operator reported and recorded him turning to his fellow patriots, those on board, now having formulated a plan, gathering the resources available to them, a serving tray that could be used as a battering ram to breach the door of the cockpit, water that, when put into a microwave and heated to boiling, became a weapon to take out the terrorists stationed outside the cockpit door. And they began their attack, battering that door, facing those crazy screaming radicals with their 4-inch razor blades, slashing and screaming at them. They also knew that there was a man available that had a particular talent. He knew karate, and he volunteered to disarm the terrorists stationed outside the door, literally and figuratively. And he did his job. They hit that cockpit door, got inside, and forced the hand of the terrorist. They knew their actions were likely to cost them their lives. Todd Beamer, before signing off, made the operator promise that she would place a call to his wife and tell her one last time that he loved her and loved the children. Elizabeth Wainio, young 27-year-old, had an extended phone call. She'd have been on the phone overhead here with her mother, and she said her final goodbyes, saying, "Don't mourn too much for me. This is going to be harder on you. I'm going to go see Grandma." And then she signed off matter-of-factly saying, "I got to go now. We're going to storm the cockpit." With the information they had, with a faith in their God, the one true and living God, undeterred as that plane began to juke side to side and up and down in an attempt to throw off the passengers and crew from their mission, they managed to bring that plane down. See, they had somebody looking out the window, perhaps on this field, and they saw ahead of them that mountain covered with a vast area of trees and a few open fields, and they determined that this plane was not going to go beyond that mountain. They picked a field that they felt was worth dying in. They said, this one will go no further. Ladies and gentlemen, I will finish by reporting to you that I believe our ship of state has been hijacked. And I think people in control of our government are intent on taking down our world commerce and finishing the job that the hijackers failed to do. Government takeovers, they are crippling our economy. The hijackers tended to weaken our military. I think that's being done as well, and we have a government that's proposing to counter with a civilian force that will be as strong as and big as our military. Is an answer only to the president. Our government is being hijacked. There's been the creation of a shadow government, with czars appointed and unelected and unaccountable to anybody but the president. Our face is under attack, with a concerted attempt to eliminate any mention of God and faith from the public square. The hijackers are dead, and they are immortalized forever in a field on that mountain, which we up there intend to take very good care of, because we can never forget their sacrifice. But to not forget is not enough. We are left to take over this battle. It's time for us to make a stand and pick a field we're willing to die in. Don't say like T.E.A. and the others, this is here. We will go no further. Only you can make that determination. God alone knows what's ahead of us in this fight. They won a battle in a war. They won their victory. It's a victory that comes at great cost, great sacrifice. They sacrificed their lives. So there will be a cost to pay. What are you willing to pay? How far are you willing to go? You have got to answer that question for yourself. But I hope that you, with me, when your friends and neighbors and the leadership of this movement turn to you with a plan of action, a counterattack, and they say to you, are you ready? You will answer as did Todd Beamer's friends with a they unequivocally said yes, and Todd Beamer responded with, let's roll!
Before we get to our next performer, you know that there's a Tea Party also in Washington, D.C., where the Tea Party Express went down there, started across the country, and ended up down there. I was just given a report. They have 1.25 million people. Because, you know, patriots are here, patriots are there, we're standing and fighting for the same cause. We're saying no to slavery. We want our freedom back, and we're going to stand and fight against you for it. You're not going to take from us anymore. We're done. I'm fed up. I'm done with you, but I'm done. I'm not enough. It's time to stand up. You have rights, you have freedom. Take advantage of it. Don't ever back down from these people. Don't let them tell you what to do and how to live your life. That's between you and God. You decide that. You make that determination. It's not them. I'm a little fired up right now. I'm going to calm down a little bit. Our next gentleman coming here is Andrew Bogue. He's going to sing God Bless the USA.